Hi, welcome to TNT. Today I was going to talk about the brand new TV advertisement that's going to be played overseas to attract people to the Kingdom of Thailand, put together by the TAT, I'd imagine at great cost. And there's plenty that needs to be said about it, but this popped up from Bangkok Post, and I think I need to cover it. It is about the tax situation in Thailand. It's recent information from the Revenue Department. I don't know, you're all going, oh, gee, I hope it's good news. Probably not. And I should say up front that I'm not a tax accountant. I'm not a tax advisor. I'm just reading this article from the Bangkok Post, which has been reported from the Revenue Department. Be very careful of any advice you're taking from YouTubers unless they are Thai accountants or tax advisors. I should also say that anything mentioned in this article may or may not affect you. It might affect you a little bit or not a lot. But the important thing is that if you do have an issue with paying tax in Thailand, you need to get some good advice. You're not going to get that from a Facebook forum. Okay, let's go to this article from the Bangkok Post. Latest 2025 tax rules for foreign workers in Thailand. So as far as this is concerned, that includes me. And the preamble to the article, foreigners working legally in Thailand face tighter tax regulations as the Thai government moves to align its tax system with international standards. It says there are 3.3 million foreign workers registered as of August 2024, and it says all individuals, foreign workers included, earning income must comply with personal income tax obligations. Under Thai tax law, a foreigner who resides in the country for 180 days or more in a calendar year is considered a tax resident. So it doesn't matter what visa you're on, if you're a foreigner and if you're staying in Thailand for more than just about 6 months in a calendar year, you are considered a tax resident. In the next sentence, this means that they're liable to pay tax on all income, whether earned in Thailand or abroad. But if you're not a tax resident, non-residents, by contrast, are taxed only on income sourced within Thailand. Well, here's the fun part, the personal income tax rates, and you can see if you earn between 0 and 150,000 baht, that's in a year, then you're exempt from paying tax. But at the other end of the spectrum, you've got net income over 5 million baht, and you're taxed at 35%. That's the highest rate. Okay, foreign nationals are entitled to many of the same tax deductions, like a personal allowance of 60,000 baht, spousal and child deductions, and deductions for investment such as provident funds and life insurance. Annual tax returns must be filed on those two forms by the 31st of March in the following year. Obviously, quite a lot of details in this. I'll put a link to this Bangkok Post article in the description of this video. Okay, what about those double taxation rules? It says Thailand has double taxation agreements with more than 60 countries. These treaties help prevent foreigners from being taxed twice on the same income. However, and importantly, the application of these agreements can vary, particularly in cases involving pensions or capital gains, and taxpayers are advised to consult with tax professionals. And that's the bottom line in this article. Now, I'm sure a lot of people would have already been consulting their tax professionals over the last 18 months or so, ever since they introduced the taxation of monies coming into Thailand. We'll get to that in a moment. But there's also VAT. Those operating businesses in Thailand must register for VAT if their annual revenue exceeds 1.8 million baht. And certain business activities, such as financial services or property rentals, may also be subject to specific business taxes. Now, if you are waiting for a bit of respite on this taxation of foreign monies brought into the country, and there were some rumours earlier this year that they were going to be dropping this particular paragraph, this seems to make it quite clear. Well, at least for now, the Revenue Department has recently revised its stance on foreign-sourced income. Since January 2024, tax residents must pay income tax on any foreign income brought into Thailand, regardless of when it was earned. This marks a significant shift from the previous rule, which taxed only income remitted in the same year it was earned. Authorities are also considering broader reforms that could see Thailand adopt a full worldwide income taxation model. So it seems, according to this article, that they're nailing down the situation that existed when they introduced that taxation revision in January last year that would be taxing monies coming into Thailand whenever it was earned. So that's the story in the Bangkok Post. I'll put a link in the description of today's video so you can read the whole story. So light on detail, and I understand there are going to be people who are quite stressed about this and have 1,000 questions. I'm unable to answer those questions, and probably most of the people in my comment section are also unable to answer them. I mean, if all this affects you, you really need to get some good local Thai professional advice. Okay, another thing about these bank accounts, and a lot of people having problems with bank accounts here in Thailand. Now, statistically, it's only around about 3 or 4% of foreigners that are having these problems, but for those people, it is a significant problem. I found this on the Destination Thailand Visa Facebook page, and I thought this might be of interest to people. It might interest you. And this post made by a Paul Scott in the Destination Thailand Visa Facebook page. Morning, Thailand. He says, I've been retired in Thailand for 8 years. He opened a bank account with Kasakorn on his non-O visa. No problem. Thought I'd be smart a year ago, he said, and switched to a DTV, Destination Thailand Visa, as it seemed a better option for me. I travel a bit, so the regular outs and ins means I'm always getting a fresh 180 days, plus there's no financial requirements. And here we go with the problem. My debit card expired last week, so I went to my bank branch yesterday to get a new card. No problem, except I've been put on notice that Kasakorn does not recognise the Destination Thailand visa. So it seems generally the banks are now requiring you to have a long-term, annually renewable non-immigrant visa to get a bank account here in Thailand. They told me my account will be closed in 6 months unless I switch back to a non-immigrant visa. Suppose a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. The manager told me that Kasakorn will not freeze accounts, but will gradually inform customers of the new requirements and give adequate notice for customers to reassess their situation. And Paul says he'll contact the embassy where I obtained the DTV to see if I can now cancel the DTV and apply for a non-O. And he notes it's a real pain, but I need the convenience of a Thai bank account. And he says, I'd imagine a lot of DTV holders don't have the need for a Thai bank account that pay crap interest anyway, ain't that the truth? So they will be unaffected. And whether Kasakorn goes through with their ultimatum, I imagine, remains to be seen, but I won't take the chance, and they should be at least been considerate enough to let me know. Thanks all, have a great day wherever you are. So poor old Paul's going to have to go back to his embassy if he wants to retain his Thai bank account and say, hey, thanks very much for that lovely, shiny Destination Thailand visa, which lasts for 5 years, and I'm going to have to cancel that, then reapply at Paul's cost, by the way, for a non-immigrant O visa so that he can retain his bank account. Paul's not alone. A lot of people posting these sort of problems. I think the best thing, though, is rather than going, oh, woe is me and my life has ended and everything has gone to shit, the best thing you can do is be proactive. If the bank hasn't already contacted you, if you haven't already had problems, then you might be in the clear. But if you suspect that you might be in one of these categories that the Thai banks are looking at the moment, be proactive, go to your bank with all the documentation you can muster, put aside a couple of hours, put on a nice shirt and a pair of shoes, and just hammer it out. Now, I did this about 6 months ago when I was reading about this and thinking, oh, this could be a problem for some people, and which we spoke about, I think, back in February this year. And I went to my local bank and they did the whole face scan thing. Look to the left, look to the right, roll your eyes around. And it took about an hour with all the paperwork and stuff. Then I had to go down to my Thai bank at one stage and sign some documents, my Thai bank in Phuket, where I'd originally opened the account. But it took me basically a whole day to sort those situations out, but I haven't had any problems since. So be proactive. Going onto your Facebook page and screaming on the forums about it really isn't going to help anybody, and it's probably not going to do anything to help you. So all these things are causing some problems for a lot of people who love living in the country, but hate the paperwork and hate the fact that the Thai government just vacillate between, oh, we might introduce this, no, we're not going to introduce it, and we run around and we try and sort ourselves out and comply with the laws. Then, oh no, maybe we won't do that, and you're going, what the hell's going on? I get it. And there's a lot of people who are posting a lot of stuff on YouTube, but the very best thing you can do is either go to your bank in the case of making sure you comply with the bank's rules, or in the case of the taxation situation, you need to speak to an accountant or a Thai tax advisor. If you don't have one, if you've never been down that track, then get some recommendations from friends. Again, don't get it from Facebook or from the forums, or if you do, make sure you do your own due diligence before you start paying money for any services here in Thailand. So, stress less. Let's just try and get through this. It's probably going to go on for, I don't know, the next 6 months or a year, as Thailand seems to be making itself align with the taxation situation in other more modern economies. Over to you. I'm sure you're going to have plenty to say about it. Please don't give advice unless you are a registered accountant or a tax advisor. Otherwise, it's dangerous to give people advice based on your personal situation when their situation could be, well, entirely different and doesn't apply. Thank you for watching. Please give us a thumbs up. Maybe in this case you won't, but we look forward to seeing you next time.